Well, welcome to another video by Ltft Entertainment. I'm Judy Lightfoot, and I learned this design from one of the gentlemen at one of our local balloon jams, and I really like it. It is a kitty. Now, this one I haven't drawn the eyes on or the whiskers, and it is probably the worst one I've done of this design. So when I do it in a minute, I'm going to show you. I do different legs and feet depending on what I want to do. These are my legs and feet I do if I want to make a really fat cat. So he's my fat kitty. And I don't do the pom-pom tails, but I didn't blow this one up enough. And I don't do fancy feet on the back leg of my kitty. Now, I did this one in black and white for a reason. I like the fact that it's a kitty, but if I flip everything over, I now have a skunk. And so I kind of like it for that reason. But I'm going to make it as the cat tonight, and hopefully you guys like it. And I'll try and make sure I inflate this balloon enough so I don't have a funny looking poodle tail on my cat. So for this one, you need two 260s. The person that showed this to me used a 260 white, but I actually like using the 160 better because then the eyes are a little smaller and it makes a nice stripe and underbelly. So depending on how I make it, I might use three of these other ones, and then it's just a scrap piece for the nose. So this was a 260 scrap, but I often use just a 160 scrap because it just makes it a smaller nose, but it works just fine. So, and this is my new place, and I don't have my nice camera anymore, so I'm using my laptop camera. So I'm going to use one of my chocolate brown 260s. I'm just going to do a medium bubble, a pinch twist. This is basically a bear head that we're starting with. So make another one of these, another pinch twist over here. And then bring these back together. So wrap this nozzle around and through. So now I have a bear head. Once I've made my bear head, I'm going to add two pinch twists at the bottom. It's going to give my head a lot of stability. It's going to give the base of the mouth and give me a chin for my cat. So 1 and 2. And then I'm just going to stick this down in between so it's got a nice flat area. So this is the beginning. I'm going to take my white 160. I'm going to wrap the nozzle around one of these ears. Okay. Now I am not as good at making the eyes perfectly even. I fight it all the time, and the kids don't care, the parents don't care. I am more picky about the fact that things are not perfectly symmetrical. So I'm working on getting over that. So we're going to make this really nice and soft, and we're going to pull the eye down along the side of the face and wrap it around through those pinch twists. Now, our kitties have whiskers and cheeks. So we're going to do two small petals. One on one side. And one on the other. Now, I like to make it where it just crisscrosses, so I'm coming back from the other side. so that my eyeballs are going towards the center. I'm going to make this soft again. I'm going to try to make them even. And I'm going to bring it up and wrap it around this ear. Once I have it wrapped a bit, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Keeping this part, we need this for the belly. Okay, so now that I've got the face basically done, and I'll finish this off in a minute, I'm going to go ahead and do a short neck. Looking to see how much of a gap I have down there. Now I'm not going to do the little knobs on the feet on this one. I'm just going to make 2 legs like maybe a little longer. So the beauty of this design is you can play around with it. You don't have to do it the same way each time. Now, when I've done this at line work, I've actually simplified the body, done the really fancy head, simplified the body. Kids love it. So I now have this piece here, the front leg, and 1 piece here. I'm going to add my 160. So just wrap it back in. So now I got it going along the middle. Depending on how fat I want my cat is how I'm going to do the next part. And I don't want this to be a super fat cat. I'm going to leave a nice long tail on him. I am going to make this nice and soft so that I use up all that space on my tail. So I'm not going to make him as fat as I did the other cat. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to attach it here. If I was making a really fat cat, what I do is I start the back, make my leg go up, come back, and finish off with the tail. But because I'm making him a thinner one, I'm going to start up here. Wrap it in underneath the neck. Bring it back along this other one that I already have started. I'm going to twist them all together. I just twisted a whole bunch of times. So now I've got this little belly on my cat. I'm just going to do the back leg the same way as I did the front leg. Very simple. And I still have this extra white piece in here in my way. And now I've got a super, super long tail. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these extra pieces. What I've learned is if I leave these extra pieces on there while I keep twisting everything in, I get to rip them off later out tying. The brown one I'm going to tie in though. And now I've got this really long-tailed kitty cat, and I'm going to finish him off. So I'm going to take whatever spare colors I have down here. I happen to have a small pink one right here. I know some people are really picky. They're like, oh, it has to be a pink nose, or it has to be, certain colors. And I let kids pick whatever colors they want for the animal, and then I kind of have fun sometimes with the noses. And they put on yellow noses, or pink noses, or whatever color there is. So I'm going to go ahead and add my nose in here. And this is a comical kitty cat. Let me grab my marker real quick. And the beauty of these type of eyes, I find they're easier to do because I'm just going to do a simple oval. So, nothing fancy. Simple eyes. I'm going to do some whiskers. Now, depending on how his face ends up, they always are different. Let's see. Let's get his little chin in there. Sometimes I'll go and I'll draw like the lips and maybe a little tongue in there as well, and then I can have fun with it. But it's a cat slash skunk design that kids love, and you can make it with a super, super long tail or a short tail, and have some fun changing up the legs and playing around with the design. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I plan on making some other videos very soon before I forget some of the designs that I've learned recently. So hope you enjoy it, and keep your eyes out for some more videos.